Good morning. Happy Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. Getting ready for TD Ameritrade to allow trading on their platforms at 7 o'clock. Looking through the gap scanners, it looks like SNTG is our leading gapper, up about 63%. SYRA is the next gapper, however, it looks like it's fading. I did mark out a few levels as well as kind of that downward trend line just in case it does start popping, but it's also cheaper than I like. I don't really like stocks under 2, but I know toward the end of December and I think last week we had some under $2 stocks that made some pretty significant moves. So I have it here. It's on a monitor that you can't see. I actually have 3 stocks that I watch at once, but I only show one on my main monitor. So I have it up watching it. ELTX looked like it had some potential, but it's dropped a ton. It had a nice little pop around 6:30 this morning, and then it's just completely retraced that entire move. So I'm guessing this won't have much action, but as you can see on the left, the float is good. It's under 10 million. It's starting to get some volume, about 300,000 shares. Again, I marked out some levels based on the daily. So yeah, we'll keep it on watch, but I'm guessing I won't touch this one. It's also a little more expensive than I like, but we'll have it up. JMPR, this is the acquisition. I think Hewlett Packard is buying them out. Yeah, so that one's a no-go. NTBL, I also marked out some levels on this one. It's cheap and it's kind of whippy. Um, Honestly, you could probably get like maybe 5 cents on this, but I just don't think it's going to be put in a big enough move to really be worth it. So not really watching that one. And those are the top 5 that I have looked at. Um, Primary focus is SNTG. I would actually like to see at 7 a.m. if we could break this pivot, which has a high of 378, and then ultimately 382 for a move back up through 4. If we could do that, 430 or 429 would be the next level of resistance. And then 454, as you can see on the daily, we have room all the way up to 845. So this is kind of what I'm watching. Sometimes at 7 a.m., we'll get the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, as well as kind of a breakout above those pivots. So that's what I'm watching currently. So as you can see, that trade setup actually did work. We got a nice little squeeze over that pivot right at 7 a.m. On the 5-minute, we also had the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. And now the target is 429. It looks like we touched it at 428, but we pulled back. I've scaled out of my position. I'm just holding on to the last quarter just to see if we can break that. which we did right there. So we'll go ahead and hold this, see if we get a break over 450. Alright, so I went ahead and took the rest of my position off the table. Locked up about 26 cents a share. We got up to 448, but it seems really heavy. You can see that shooting star topping tail on the 1 minute. I imagine it'll probably pull back. You can see it pull back down to 4, and it might set up a bull flag and then move higher. But I just wanted to go ahead and lock up some profit. I think I scaled out relatively well. You can see my executions on the left. We were in at 388, then scaled out 405, 409, 14, and 27. So the best exit was at 427, which unfortunately was on the down pull of this. I was kind of leaving 429 as my stop, which was the high, the pre-market or after hours high. And yeah, you can see this 1 minute candle. It looks like if we could break the high of it, which is 431, we might break through 450. So if I were taking another trade, I would probably take the first 1 minute to make a new high, which is right there. It's a little heavy. It's not shooting as much as it should. Lots of green on the tape, which is good. Yeah, it's just heavy. It's having trouble breaking. So if I were in that trade, I'd probably go ahead and get it. I probably would have set a stop at break even, which would be 431, and I probably would have gotten out of that. We saw this yesterday on Acon. I think it was right after 8 a.m. The first move higher, I think it was around like $6. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it made a move like this up to 6. I think it pulled back, and then the first candle to make a new high actually did exactly this, and then the next first 1 minute candle to make a new high, I think we got like a 70-cent move up to like 679. So that might be what this is setting up for, but regardless, got in, got out, got about 26 cents a share, which is excellent. I'm aiming for 5 to 10 cents a share. So even though it was smaller size with 100 shares, I'm happy with that profit. I think there's definitely more potential in the stock though. And then looking at ELTX and SYRA, they're both just selling off. So quick profit. Total trade time was about 2 minutes and 45 seconds.